I'm joined by Chris Broussard. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
We need to start doing some outtakes of what
Yeah,
goes
we
on
already had a spirited
in the
discussion.
breaks.
Hey, Chris, before you go, Skip, I mean, you know, you were the great writer, this great playwright, George Orwell, one of these great Pulitzer.
Orwell?
Hold on, Skip, hold on. This Pulitzer Prize winning. Give me some words. If you was writing a column today about what you saw last night, give me like 2 or 3 words to describe LeBron.
Chris, what did you think of last night?
Yes. Where does this rank? Where does this rank
trouble.
amongst LeBron's greatest performances?
I've been having trouble taking my eyes off that tie.
It's something.
You like that, man?
First of all.
It's something.
But look, LeBron was incredible last night. I think you even admitted he was fantastic. All right, he showed
After 12
why
hours,
he's
that's
the
all you
best
can come up
player
with,
in the
incredible?
world. No. But there's so many great performances to choose from. This barely cracks his top 10. Barely. I mean, his greatest performance ever, and even you appreciated this one. 2012, Game 6 in Boston, down 3-2, and that was the crossroads of LeBron's career, right?
Yep.
He had stumbled the year before against Dallas.
Yeah, I'd
to put
say.
it kindly,
Yeah.
right? The year before that, he had stumbled again, or before that, against Boston
Yep.
in Cleveland.
And before that against Orlando. But go ahead.
No, he didn't stumble. He was phenomenal that series. He was great. He was great in that one. That wasn't.
They
that was
lost
different.
3
That
in a
was
row.
different.
Go ahead.
That was
Go ahead.
different than Boston and Dallas. And so he hadn't won a championship yet.
No.
You had all the talent with you, Wade and Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have lost that series, I don't know what. I mean, I can't. He's so good. I can't say he wouldn't have, won a title. But who knows?
I agree.
Right.
3 straight years. And so that 45 points, 19 for 26 shooting, 15 rebounds, that was his best. I would rank Detroit 2007, 48 points against a great Detroit team.
That was in the middle of that great run. They'd gone to 5 straight Eastern Conference
Yes.
Finals, back-to-back
You
finals.
still had Rasheed, you had Ben Wallace, you had
Chauncey.
and Rip, and
Hey,
he
Sean.
scored their last 25 points. And who was he going to war with? Drew Gooden, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Sasha Pavlovich, and Larry Hughes.
Pretty good player.
And so
Go
you
ahead.
could just, really?
Yeah.
That makes Russell Westbrook's supporting cast look tremendous.
It does not.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Sorry.
And so they could focus solely on LeBron, and he still delivered. And then I would say games 5, 6, and 7 from last year's finals.
See, now you're cooking.
Right?
See, early on, he was cooking with Pam. You know, in Pam, you don't want that stick. But when you put that Crisco,
You cook with Crisco?
yeah!
That might be your problem.
Yeah!
Hey, don't diss
gotta
Crisco.
stop it.
We had that Crisco in
And
my
you had it
house.
sitting right on the stove, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
You had it sitting right on the
Sitting there.
stove, didn't you? Yeah. And when you finish with the grease, what you do with it, Chris? Pour it back
Save
in the
it.
cake.
Save
Put it
it.
right back in the out. No, my bad. Go ahead.
That's
Skip
that
it.
Southern living. That's that Southern.
Well, I want to hear yours.
But those, I mean,
Okay, I
so
got it.
it was great, but come on, the stakes, if they lose, they're still up 2-1. He even had a better performance against Indiana in 2012. They're
I
down
agree.
2-1.
He did.
So this was great, but let's not get caught up in the moment and think this was.
Chris, we're along the same lines. The greatest game, and I don't think he'll ever be able to top this, is Game 6 against the Boston in the Boston Garden. Because what people don't realize, the Heat jumped out 2-0. They lost 3 games in a row. And given the fact that what had happened in the Mavs the previous year, and you remember, Skip, that game in Dallas, he had 8 points. And he had shied away from actually shooting the basketball.
J.J. Barea was
you're
guarding.
telling
Right.
me?
So now, I believe if he, Skip, for me, and he might have gone on, but I believe if he had lost that one, his career, maybe his psyche would have been irreparably harmed. So for me, that's the best game. I agree. And it's hard to say one of them, so I took the compilation. You know, when you do music, you have what they call a catalog.
Right.
That's where they put all your stuff together, called masters, and you want to control those, Skip. So this is a master compilation. Games 5, 6, and 7 last year, Skip, because he went 41 and 41, and then he followed up with a triple dub. So,
And the block.
because here's the thing, Skip. Each one, and Chris, each one of those games had finality to it if you lost. If you lose game 5, you're done. You lose game 6, you're done. You lose game 7, oh, so he said, nah. He said, I ain't gonna give Skip Bayless. I'm not gonna let Skip dance at my parade. I'm not gonna let him dance at my funeral.
You know what else, when you talk to people around the league, like coaches and scouts, about that game 7 last year, what they rave about is his defense. I mean, in addition to the triple-double, the block, but just throughout the game, the defense that he was playing.
Play it off. And then I still believe Game 6, even though everybody
Last
said,
year?
No. Game
2013.
Game
Don't,
six.
don't
Oh, yeah.
start.
Hold on,
that
Skip.
was a great
Hold on, Skip.
Go ahead.
Can I talk to
So
Chris?
Go
You
ahead.
mind if I talk to Chris Skip for a second?
You know, talk to
Skip,
the
that
audience.
you can't disrespect that game.
I'm disrespectful.
Last night was better than that?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Triple-double. Although Ray Allen gets credit for the shot, they were down 10. He scored 16. He assists on another 6 points. So that even in Game 7, he had 37. But Skip,
No question.
the game that you mentioned this. You remember his first championship in 2012, Indiana. Chris Bosh gets hurt the first game. They win that game, but they lose the next one, Game 2. They lose Game 3. So now you're about to go down. And he comes out with 40, 18, and 9. So this game last night doesn't crack the top 5 for me.
Okay. So both of you have
does it crack
idolized
your
enough.
top-
It's my turn.
It crack your
It's my
top
turn.
5?
Heck no.
Okay.
Against a 42-40 Indiana
with
team that's
you.
just psychologically dead in the water with Paul George deflecting blame, pointing fingers at everybody. It's just a sad case of a basketball team. That's
But
not even in.
they weren't psychologically dead yesterday. They are now.
Oh, I think they were going into that game. And then Paul George threw his teammates under the bus again after the game. I should have taken over more in the third quarter. You went 0 for 5. Come on. So here's the point. I do appreciate you both got it right for once, because that game
for
6,
once.
that game 6 in 2012,
Yes.
that was big time because of what had happened against Dallas. That was the worst superstar meltdown I've ever seen. And to have the pressure to go back into the playoffs, even though like Dwayne had been there and done that, so he had his ring.
Yeah.
And Chris Bosh is the third wheel, so nobody really expected Chris to do anything, and he didn't do much in that game. But everybody expected LeBron to either put up or shut up and go away on that night, because that was going to be, you're right, they would have lost 4 straight games to Boston in that series. And to come up, he scored 30 in the first half and just said, no, I'm not going to
over.
allow this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm giving you that one. But number 2 on my list, I'm sorry, even though my Spurs in Game 7 the next year, 2013, were psychologically left for dead by the blunders of Game 6. But for LeBron, I thought he played great in Game 7. And it was still a pretty close game. It wound up 95-88, but he was 37-12 in that game and made 5 out of 10 threes. That was big time, because he statistically he's still the worst three-point shooter in playoff history, but that was a big-time night. Now, my problem with what you talked about, the Detroit game, is that, remember, Antonio McDyess was their rim protector, and he got ejected early in that game. The other rim protector was Rasheed Wallace, and at halftime, if you know the backstory, he went ballistic on the coaching staff and wanted to quit, and wound up in the second half with 4 points and 3 rebounds in the second half and 2 overtimes. And the only thing I didn't like about what LeBron did, he had a chance at the end of the first overtime to ice it, to put the game away, and shot an air ball from 22 feet. You go look at the tape and tell me it's not an air ball. So
That's
again,
fine, but that diminishes what he did
Nobody
at
could
the end of
protect
that
the rim.
game.
Nobody could keep him from the rim.